Good morning, everybody. And we are here live at Sirius XM. Well, some of us are. Shuli is here. Benji is here. Robin is here. Fred is here. Yes. These are the guys these are the guys you want to go to war with. No, there are other guys here. J.D. Harmeyer is here. Jim McClure is here. Who else is here? Steve Brandano is here, who has just been promoted to executive producer. Ganji here, oddly enough.
He's running the whole show by himself, practically.
You know, it's so weird. So many people around here were offered a hotel room to stay in and do this show, and for the life of me, I don't understand why they... Gary was like, well, I have to be with my family.
I have to protect my house.
And how are you protecting your house exactly?
That's why I kept asking that question. How are you going to protect the house?
Such a pussy.
I could turn on the generator.
And I love all the people who write me the email. You know, you're very mean to Gary. It's like, well, yeah, you're probably going nowhere in life, too. You know what I mean? You're probably a loser, too. I just don't have that mentality. Yeah, Gary called me last night, you know, in the middle of the storm, big storm. And he says, what is the mechanism by which you are coming in? What mechanism will help you to determine when you are coming in? I said, what mechanism? What mechanism will determine when I'm coming in?
Wow.
I said, here's the mechanism, Gary. I'm going to get up tomorrow.
And if the world's still here.
If the world's here, I'm going to go over to Sirius and do a radio show. I don't know. That's my mechanism. Well, he was asking me again, what mechanism is he using?
Right.
To determine. You know, and I was just like, I don't know how to answer that question. Well, I'm not your daddy. I mean, what do you want me to do? I told you, take a hotel room in the city and be here. That's what my father taught me. My father made it into work no matter what.
Well, I used to work in hospitals. There was no such thing as, you just don't come in.
I mean, Doug Goodstein hasn't been here for 2 days. That is one dude. If I'm ever in a war, that's the one dude.
With him.
Yeah, I'd rather be against him. He has got to be the biggest fucking pussy on 2 feet.
He's France.
I mean, yesterday there was absolutely no issue with getting in and out of the city. Well, how would he know that, Bull? Well, there's no guarantees in life, but there was nothing happening.
But the offices were closed.
Yeah. But they were told to stay home because the offices are closed. Not our offices. In Demand. I don't know where In Demand offices are. Maybe they're downtown.
That's not where he works.
No, he works here, and I'm here, and everybody else is here. I don't know. Everyone's so fucked up with the work. It's crazy.
Well, these guys aren't even of the generation I'm talking about, but, they give seminars now to teach people how to talk to the new generation because you just can't say, go do this.
No, they don't know from that. Well, like Scott the engineer hasn't been here in 2 days, and that was going to happen. I mean, you just know.
Look, I remember 9/11.
Yeah.
And, I went home with Scott.
Yeah.
And I looked at Scott at some point in the evening. I said, he'll never get to work tomorrow.
Right.
I got to get out of here.
Right, he doesn't even consider it.
And so I spent 2 hours finding my way through the streets to get home so I could go to work on my own in the morning.
Exactly. Tim Sabian's here. Jim McClure is here. I mean, these guys, they know that someone's got to put the show on. Someone had to be here. I had my ISDN line set up last night as well and made contingency plans. And I said, if I can't get in, I'll do it on the ISDN line. I don't know. I just don't get it.
Well, when I, started to have this problem, I immediately said, get that ISDN line working and make sure it works.
There you go. That's it. Woman hasn't missed a day. I mean, Robin's here, whether there's illness, I don't know. Somehow she does it. Yeah, I don't know how many other people would do that.
I've limped in. I've crawled.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen her. It's a job. Not fun all the time, but it's a job. You do it. You could chop your head off, you'd still be doing it. I could chop Robin's head off and she'd still be at work. Yeah. Well, I have to go home. I mean, why? What are you going to do? Oh, if a tree falls on the house, I got to... If the tree falls on the house. I mean, if the tree falls on the house...
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
He really thinks he can get a tree off a house?
There are people who could help me. and then I can patch up the hole. Yeah, like, okay.
I got a top.
It's Armageddon. What do you think's happening?
No, this morning I'm listening to, people having been killed by tree limbs.
I think
And Gary's going to go out and fight one.
Right. Well, I'm fighting. Well, he's got those beaver teeth. No, I mean, I love people's email, too. I'm a big fan, but you are being a huge dick about Gary. If you cared about Gary and his family, you wouldn't be such a condescending asshole. I can guarantee you the guy who wrote this letter, at best, is a part-time worker at McDonald's. I guarantee it. Trust me, you do not get anywhere with that attitude. You said Gary is deserting the show. I didn't say that.
Never did you say that.
You're such a miserable person that you have no understanding. This is a guy who is definitely coddled by his mother. You have no understanding that people's families are more important than work. I didn't say...
You don't bring the family to New York.
Yeah, right. Keep your family safe. And go out and slay the tiger. Most people care about their homes and family. Well, what am I going to do? Am I going to rebuild my home? What am I, Amish? This guy wrote, Gary's a dumbass. I've been through 3 hurricanes in which the eye passed over my head. The only reason I stayed was because I had no homeowner's insurance and nowhere else to go. Gary, listen to Boff. You can rebuild a house, but you can't replace your life or the lives that you care about. Being 10 stories up in New York City would be a smarter thing to do. Yeah, I said, if you care about your family, get Mary and Lucas in here and put them in a hotel, which we're providing for you.
And forget the house.
Yeah, and the house will be fine. Well, this guy obviously gets it. Gary, don't fall for Howard's nonsense. Yeah, when the boss is a bad man.
Right.
Can I depend on you? Howard's an asshole. There are millions of listeners who can't wait until Beth leaves him.
Oh.
That day is coming. God. Yeah, some guy on Twitter wrote, I hope Beth dies in the storm, and I hope your parents die in the storm.
Those are your fans.
Yeah, those are my fans. People are so... Then I looked up the guy who wrote that, and he's up on some sort of charges or something. I don't know if it's the same guy.
What a shock.
Yeah, I said, let me look up this guy, see what he's up to.
That's the guy that's got Gary's back.
Yeah.
And Gary kept making a big thing about somebody being at my house. Nobody was at my house.
Oh, Gary went off on me yesterday. He attacked me on the
yeah. I heard that. It's funny to me.
I haven't earned the right to goof on Gary.
In the wrap-up show, he attacked you?
Yeah.
Basically, he was saying, I haven't earned the right to goof on him.
And I'm arrogant.
But in reality, he's really pissed at you.
Right.
And he doesn't have the cojones to come after you.
Right.
So he's going to go after me
of course.
For doing my job.
Right.
Which is entertaining you, as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly.
You're my audience.
Exactly. In the meantime, Gary, you should fire anybody who goes along with Howard's "Can I depend on you" nonsense.
Gary should fire him?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Quit being an asshole, Howard. This is a huge storm. Wall Street shut down. All schools in New Jersey are closed. Tons of other businesses are closed or workers are working from home. Give Techno Beaver a break. It's fine. I told him, go home. What do you want from me? He wants to be home with his family in case of emergency. Doug Goodstein be holed up with that family for like he doesn't even give a second thought about coming in. I'm sorry.
What he's doing. He's watching TV.
Yeah, I mean, what is he doing?
Games.
Yeah, what is Doug Goodstein doing?
There's no protecting the family going on.
He's running around with those bug eyes of his, taking fucking pictures.
Yeah, he's probably photographing or recording the storm.
Putting all those precious baby clothes in a higher ground. So
I'll tell you what it is. He doesn't want to miss the storm. He's like having fun in the storm.
Yeah, he's taking the photos.
Yeah, taking rainbows. I know exactly what the fuck this guy's doing. And it's fine. I'm not telling anyone to come into work because God forbid you tell someone to come into work, then they sue you because you put them in danger. I don't give a shit if anybody showed up for work. This is what set off the firestorm. All I said is, I'm coming into work. Oh, Boff is coming into work, but what if Mary gets hit by a tree? I said, I don't know what to tell you. I'm coming into work. You can come in or not. Last night I'm on the phone with him again. What is the mechanism by which you're going to decide?
I think that's the most beautiful sentence.
What is the mechanism
I've ever heard?
Yeah, and I was just like, I don't know, Gary. And then he said to me, well, what he was saying is, what is my mechanism for coming into work? I said, Gare, don't come in.
You know what it was? It was, where's your cutoff switch?
Yeah, and I said, Beth said to me, why don't you stay home and take a day off? I go, because, hey, I'm supposed to be here. There's no reason I shouldn't try. I'll do my best. I said to Gary, I think you should stay in the city if you want to be in at work. No, I got to be home with Mary. Fuck you. You're an asshole. I go, no. I said, if you want to be here, we have a hotel for you. If you don't, go home. Why is that so? Why is that an angry boss?
It was so crazy.
But you're making me feel stupid and guilty. I go, well, that's your problem. I didn't tell you to do anything.
You're goofing on me.
Yeah, I'm goofing on him somehow. And whoever's not here, you're going to goof on. I'm not goofing on you. It's like, how dare you put me up in a hotel? Gee, I'm sorry.
Don't provide for me.
Well, what about my family? Put them in the hotel.
Yeah.
I can't do that. We can't leave our house. We don't. You have staff. Why am I being attacked? You asked me what you should do.
I don't have
do
the
anything.
options
Stay
you
home.
have.
I don't have the. I mean, I'm getting attacked by this fucking beaver face prick.
I could turn on the sump pump.
Yeah, I mean, what do you want from me? I got enough problems. I got to get myself to work. Well, then last night he goes, I'm going to tell you who. I'm in the middle of my whole fucking alarm system is going off my apartment because it's a piece of shit, which I'm having ripped out.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, and there's water coming in through the window, and I'm
Oh,
sitting
my
there.
God.
And then Gary calls and goes, Bob, I'm going to give you a briefing on who will definitely be there tomorrow. I go, I don't care. Well, Steve Brandano, JD. I go, Gary.
I can tell you who won't be there. Me.
I don't care. He goes, what do you mean you don't
too long
care?
a list.
I go, I don't. If they're there, they're there. I hope they'll be there. If they're not, it's okay. Release yourself from guilt. By the way, I'm not mad that the guy didn't show up. I just want him to leave me alone.
But look at all you had going on.
Yeah,
You were protecting your apartment.
I'm protecting my apartment. You have staff. I didn't see any staff. It was me and Beth.
You're all alone when that alarm was going off, right?
Yeah. You have staff. I go, okay, I have staff. I want to know where my staff is right now.
I don't have a butler.
Yeah, well, neither do I, fucknut.
Well, I'm staff.
Boy, if his anger didn't come out, I'm the angry one.
In about 2 seconds, too.
Oh, my God.
And it was like he
But
presented.
he was yelling it at me too, and he was like, somebody's at your house. Nobody was at my house."
I don't know. You know what? Robin's got some problems. I don't hear her bitching once. She doesn't ever ask me what she should do.
It was like a bunch of kids that were waiting for the school to cancel.
Yeah.
Right.
And the school just wouldn't cancel.
Yeah, right. And he was
And
upset.
that's exactly it.
Yeah, and they just got
What
pissed
does
off.
it take to make it stop?
I mean, I don't know what he wanted from me.
This is category 1.
Oh, my God.
Here's
And as I predicted, it's bad. You know, there's people with power. By the way, where
But
does
you could
Gary?
get
By the
in
way,
today.
of course you could. Where does Gary live? Gary was without power before the storm even came.
I know.
I mean, it was like what? You should move. Maybe that's the answer. Where the fuck do you live in like where? Guam? Gary goes, we just lost power. This was
My power's
It was like 9 o'clock in the
it
morning.
was 9
yesterday.
o'clock Monday morning.
Yeah, and it hadn't started raining.
Nothing.
Yeah, like my mother called me. So my head's spinning, and I'm worried about my parents, and I'm worried about this. And then Gary gets on with me. I'm going to give you a list of who is going to be present. It gets all official.
It's mechanism
gonna
time.
give you-
Yeah, and I'm like, Gary, what do you think I'm going to do with that information? Really analyze it. Don't you want to know who's going to be there? I'm like, no, not really. But don't you need to know? He was like fucking in a panic. Like, don't you need to know? And I go, no, Gary, I don't. I said, please don't worry about it. I said, you're home, relax. Keep your family safe. And if a tree falls, be sure to chop it down. Meanwhile, I was thinking about Gary, meanwhile, so worried about his family being safe. He's got this big fucking trampoline in the backyard.
Yeah.
He wouldn't move.
And on the news last night, there was some idiot with a trampoline in his backyard that, of course, became like a missile.
Right.
Because the
Airborne.
trampoline was airborne.
Yeah.
And, of course, it goes into his neighbor's house.
That's what I said to Gary yesterday. I said, he's talking about, you were talking about it hitting his house.
Yeah.
I was like, what about your neighbor?
Oh, forget it. So then I'm like, and then this one guy's trampoline ended up in the phone wires.
That was in Staten Island.
Yeah, took
Howard.
out the
Wow.
phones.
Yeah.
That trampoline.
A giant trampoline. It's just hung on telephone on all the electrical wires.
I'm on the trampoline.
And that's why they don't have any power.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's all worried about his family. I said, take in your fucking trampoline. That he doesn't do.
I took in my lunches.
Quit being an asshole, Howard. This is a huge storm. Wall Street shut down. All the schools in New Jersey are closed. Tons of other businesses are closed, or workers are working from home. Give Techno Beaver a break. I gave him a break. I don't know what he wanted from me. He was bothering me. He had his choice. Stay in the city or go home, and I didn't bust his balls at all. I just said to him, can I depend on you to be here? And he said, I mean, I don't know. What am I supposed
You're
to word
saying
it?
something else.
Well, that's the thing. I think in his mind, if you would have just said, Are you going to be in tomorrow?
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I don't talk the way he wants me to.
That's
I
not
want
your
my
mechanism.
question.
And why get mad if it's just the same question, just directed in a different way?
I've been a listener for 20 years. This is the first time I've been compelled to write. Howard and Robin were totally out of line the way they spoke to Gary, another guy who was coddled. Guarantee you this guy doesn't have a good job. I
He should
guarantee
have
you.
grown up in my home.
This is a guy who's very satisfied working like a dog for some asshole who takes off whatever day he can get off. Oh, yeah, my father wouldn't come home for 3 days. It's like, okay, we stayed in the house, and then that was
That's
it.
right. We
I
took
don't
care of
know.
the house.
What was he going to do anyway?
There was nothing to do.
If this tree falls on the house, I mean, well, that's like saying, well, if the world blows up, if a tree falls on the house, and then there's a
He
big hole in my
can't
house,
do anything.
and then I'm going to get a tarpaulin to cover the hole, and I mean, he's imagining scenarios that I mean, it's
then I
unbelievable.
have
Do you know what he would have to do if a tree fell into his house?
Well, I also like he's imagining Road Warrior, like
Right.
Mary and the kids are going to be all alone. And
I will
Mercy.
shoot the marauders.
I will be like
Someone is trying
Mel
to.
Gibson.
Yeah, someone's
in
trying
Mad
to.
Max.
Someone's trying to eat Murphy. All hell is breaking loose.
I will use gasoline as currency.
How are there zombies in my neighborhood? It's
If a
the
tree fell
Walking
in-
Dead.
Yeah.
If a tree fell into his house, he would have to leave the
Yeah,
house.
exactly. And you know where he'd try to be? Manhattan, where it was
That's
dry.
right. He'd come to a hotel.
Absolutely, listen to Howard. Take him out. A tree falls on his house. He's gonna get out in the storm and. I'm sorry, I'm not an idiot for trying to protect my house. Yeah, kinda.
He acts like trees aren't a big deal.
Yeah. He's gonna lift the tree. He's gonna get that retard strength.
Should have just put the trampoline on the roof. The
Yeah.
tree would have bounced right off.
Well, he could have
That's
bounced into
mine
Manhattan.
yesterday was,
Yeah, right.
oh, he's going to bounce out of danger.
Oh no, tree's falling. Get
That's
the
our
trampoline.
escape plan. If a tree falls on the house, Mary's going to bounce on the trampoline and bounce to Pittsburgh.
And she's gonna tie a bungee cord around me, so when she bounces, she pulls me up in the air.
There she goes.
Oh, my goodness.